My hairline's fucking scuffed!
Growing up in the 2000s, I had access to more games than any generation before me, and since I wasn't an average kid, sometimes I'd favor to play the games that came before my dad came in my mum's snatch. I was exposed to these games because my dad played them. Dino Crisis, Spider-Man, Resident Evil, Command & Conquer, RPG games like Baldur's Gate, and adventure games like Soul Reaver, stuff like that. My dad wasn't a fan of FPS games. For some reason he finds them too disorienting, with an exception of Star Wars Dark Forces because he's a massive fucking nerd. My grandfather, on the other hand, played Wolfenstein 3D and Doom back in the day. If memory serves me right, this was my first experience with the FPS genre. Still, my interest in the genre was neutral up until the point where I was a preteen. That's when my friend introduced me to Call of Duty World at War Nazi Zombies. One thing that I would like to clarify real quickly is that in this video, I will specifically be talking about Treyarch's Call of Duty Zombies, not Sledgehammer's or Infinity Ward's. Being a kid that was terrified of Resident Evil as a child, zombies were not something I was fully desensitized to. So when I heard the screams and the moans of the undead hordes emerging to eat my ass from the distant fog, you can bet your fucking ass I was making poopy in my britches. Fast forward to less than 2 years and a few 100,000 zombies later, I've become obsessed with this mode, and ripping and tearing the undead hordes to shreds. Now, I've sunk a lot of hours into Call of Duty games over the years,
Far more than I'd like to admit.
but I'll happily say that a majority of that time is spent playing zombies. Now, you may be wondering, Saturday Night Wrist, what the fuck's that got to do with Doom? Well, my dear viewer, that's what I'm about to fucking tell you, innit? Because of Call of Duty, I actually became interested in FPS games. I think I was 14 when I grabbed Doom 3 BFG Edition off the PlayStation Store. I think that very year was the first time I also played Borderlands and BioShock. I played fuckloads of co-op Doom with my best friend, and it just evolved from there. Doom sparked my love for retro FPS games like Duke Nukem, and more recently for the other two most famous Source Engine games, Blood and Shadow Warrior, which are both brutally difficult and satisfying as hell at the same time, both of which I'm also currently playing through for the first time. Now, lads and lasses, the fundamental point of these games is kicking ass and forgetting names because you kicked way too many asses to remember all the names of. And that's what you're always doing. Almost any FPS fan will tell you that if the guns suck, then the game sucks too. Unfortunately, the quality of guns varies from Call of Duty to Call of Duty. The best by far being Black Ops 1 or World at War before they tried to pull all the futuristic bullshit. I love you, Treyarch, but your gun designs after Black Ops 1 are fucking ugly. There is, of course, exceptions like the PDW and the Scorpion Evo and the ICR-1, you know, stuff that looks like actual guns. But the overwhelming majority make me gag, and takes me out of the experience for some reason. Thankfully, the guns at least feel good to use. They may not look the best, but they certainly fucking feel the best. I think one of my... Shit. I can hear my dad watching Stranger Things in the background. I think one of the best things to come out of the Call of Duty Zombies evolution was the community of custom map makers. As a kid, I watched NGT Zombies and thought custom maps were the coolest thing ever. I didn't have a PC that could run it until a year ago, which got fucked up, and now I'm on another one, which is shitty by comparison. But anyway, it still runs, and since custom zombies is something I do regularly, there are countless maps with countless variables, including guns from other Call of Duty titles, like Modern Warfare, which has some of the best guns in FPS history, in my opinion, and even has custom perks, like Banana Colada. It also made it so the community could create new ideas and put forth new challenges for the other members of the community. Sound familiar? To me, World at War custom zombie maps were the Doom mods of the 2000s. They are literally Doom and Wolfenstein 3D custom zombies maps. Doom and Call of Duty Zombies both give you the same feeling of empowerment. It can be immensely challenging, but if you get good and learn the ropes, you can feel like a true badass. Here are some really good notable custom zombie maps for World at War. Epitaph, Abandoned School, UGX Requiem, Clinic of Evil, Das Herrenhaus, Leviathan, which straight up feels like an official Black Ops 1 map, and I'm not fucking kidding, Snowblind, Berlin Bank, and if I keep going, I'll be here all day. And obviously, some notable Doom awards are Brutal Fucking Doom, Russian Overkill, what the fuck? One of the Columbine kids made a map? Episode 1, Mission 8, made by the man himself 21 years later, John Romero. Batman, Why Isn't There a Punisher one? I just want to shoot people, not throw bats at them. Aliens. But if you're familiar with Doom mods, these probably aren't new to you. Actually, if you have any recommendations for great Doom mods, I could use some myself. And if you're looking at getting into custom zombies, and you're cool with flying solo, I'd say go right ahead, although it's definitely more fun with friends. That being said, get some. And if you don't have any, well, I'll probably play with you. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you the fuck later.